everyone, I'm Paul and this is William. William's in year 5 in your school in reindeer class. Miss Hicks has very kindly asked us to do a couple of cookery demonstrations so you can make a couple of dishes together as a family. Most people are going to pull faces at this, but we're going to make a chorizo and chickpea stew. Now, hands up who normally likes chickpeas. No, me neither, but what we're going to do is make them really yummy, really tasty so you can all eat them as a family. So William's going to help me along, and you've got a recipe sheet which I believe Miss Hicks has given you. You can make this as a vegetarian version as well, so you just get rid of the chorizo and the chicken at the end, and I'll go through that with you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get all our ingredients ready to go in the pan first of all. So this is where we're going to ask William to help me, and I'm going to do some things. So because there's some chopping involved. Now at home, if your mum and dad will let you chop, that's great, that's up to you and up to them in their supervision. I've got some really sharp knives here, so I'm going to do the chopping, and then William's going to put it all up together in this little tray here, so it's going to be organised. We've got a tin of chickpeas here, and again, not everyone likes chickpeas, and I didn't used to like chickpeas, and neither did William, but these are really yummy because we've got loads of flavour in them. So what we're going to do with these is drain them. So we've got a bowl here and a sieve. I'm going to open this up. And William's going to just let them sift through there. There we go. And that's as simple as it is. I use tinned peeled plum tomatoes because I prefer them. You can buy them already chopped, but they normally have a bit more water in and they're not quite as flavoursome. So I'm going to get a tin of these, and then William's going to mash them up. I've got just a potato masher here, but you can use a fork if you want to. This doesn't take long at all. All we've done really is mash them up slightly so they're not big whole tomatoes anymore. I'm just going to prepare the chicken now. I've just got one chicken breast here. It's on a separate board. Make sure you don't contaminate it. So it's quite a thick chicken breast, and your meal's quite big. You know, you've got a big dinner coming. So this chicken just goes on the top of it. So to cook it quickly, we're just going to slice it through the middle. So to do this, you just get the chicken breast, get a nice sharp knife, put your hand flat on the top of the chicken. Okay? And then underneath your hand, we're just going to literally slice through that chicken there.
Make sure it's flat.
Make sure your hand's flat. And then there we go. Look, just butterfly it out there. And then literally cut it in half. There we go. And then we're going to season this. I'm just going to wash my hand. So literally just sprinkle in the salt and pepper on top of it. And that's it for your chicken, so just cover that up for now because it's not going to take long. On the ingredients list there's a pepper. Now you can have a red, yellow, green, orange, it doesn't matter. You can have a mixture, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Yes. We've got a red onion, upsy daisy, and we've got 2 or 3 inches of dried chorizo. Now if you are vegetarian, you don't have to put this in. All you need to do, instead of putting this in, is replace it with another tablespoon of smoked paprika. So that's where we're going to get it. So I'm going to chop the onion up and the chorizo up because the sharp knife's very sharp. So just literally with the chorizo, cut it into 4 strips here. Hopefully you can see that okay on the video. And then we're literally just going to cut it up into really small pieces. Again, if you are children at home and you are cutting, just be really careful and make sure you've got an adult, a responsible adult, doing it with you. We don't want any fingernails or finger ends in your yummy dinner, do we? So there we go. So that's the chorizo all done. Now I'm going to put this on my tray here, and Willie's going to steal a bit there. Same with the onion, through the middle.
You don't want to cry?
Yeah, William doesn't want to cry. There we go. We're going to take the onion off, and again, what we're going to do with this onion is just get it as same sort of size of the pepper and the chorizo and the chickpeas as possible. If you want to do it this way, you can do. Just be really careful. So you just slice it along that way there. Just bring along the side of your fingers, cut it through there, along the middle, and then we're going to simply chop it up there. There we go.
Round.
The next thing we're going to do, and William can do this, and children at home, you want to do this. We're going to weigh out. So we're going to measure out the dried spices. So we've got some cumin here, and we've got some smoked paprika. Again, with the recipe you've got there, if you are not putting the chorizo in for any reason, just put an extra teaspoon of this. The smoked paprika is really good, goes into the chickpeas, so yummy, and it just tastes like barbecue smoky flavour. Get 1 teaspoon out of there and put it carefully on our tissue paper here. Thank you very much. So put 2 half teaspoons in of the cumin. There we go, perfect. And then we've got 2 cloves of garlic here. I've got a garlic crusher, you might not have one at home. Yes, William's going to crush the garlic. So he's going to crush the garlic. If you haven't got one at home, just peel it and finely chop it. I would recommend an adult does that. So there you go, William. So just put that in there and squeeze it onto there for me, please. Right, so we're all prepped now. To start off with, we've got 1 pan here. And get this on quite nicely, because you're going to let this sizzle. So we're going to put a tablespoon of oil in. So William, can you open that and measure out a tablespoon of oil for me, please? Just put it over there. Careful because it's warm. There we go. Just make sure it goes in there. There we go. Thank you, William. So just literally put that in the pan there, and just give that for a minute or so, just to get that really warm. Now I'm going to start putting things in when I tell you to. So I've got everything on my board here because it's nice and simple to put in. So the first thing, William, is the chorizo. Do you want to just literally put that in there? There we go. You can hear a little sizzle there. Right, get your wooden spoon then. So what we're going to do now is just literally stir this round up, William. There we go. And we're going to slowly cook this out because this releases lots of really nice smoky oils from the pork. Again, if you're not using the chorizo, at this stage here you can put your onions and your peppers straight in with some more paprika. There you go, we're just trying to stir that round slightly for me. Thank you. There we go. Hopefully you can see that okay at home. Watch what you're doing now. You'll notice the oil starts going orange, and that's all the paprika and some more of the spices coming out of the chorizo. It's quite a bit of fat in the chorizo. It just creates this great oil to cook the rest of the dish in. So right, William, do you want to put in now the peppers and the onions?
All at once?
Yeah. So we're going to make sure all goes in.
Sizzle!
There we go, nice sizzle there. Now again, William, if you can just stir that around for me, nice and gently. And what you want to be doing here now is you're going to be coating all the ingredients in that oil. Yeah? So just stir it around, look. There we go. Let me show you. Just turn it over like that, so it all goes in the oil. And all we're doing now is coating it so evenly, hopefully just getting a bit of colour on the vegetables in there. Have they changed colour?
Yeah.
Okay.
The onions have gone green.
Right, marvellous. Okay, so what we're going to, next we're going to put in the chickpeas. So I'll put these in for you, William. Again, you should hear a sizzle. There we go. As you can see, the reason why we prepare everything is so simple at this stage. So it's worth just taking that little bit of time getting everything ready. Because if you were trying to chop everything now, well, it won't be much fun, would it? And you'll probably burn your dinner and you don't want to do that. So is that all stirred round, William?
Yeah.
Lovely. So we're going to have the garlic now, and I'll do that for you, William. There's 2 cloves of crushed garlic going in there. Again, William, if you can stir that all round for me. Thank you. There we go, nice and gently, not too fast. Now, in the recipe there's some red wine. Now, you might not want to cook with red wine, and your mum and dad might not want you to cook with red wine, and your mum might have drunk all the red wine with it being locked down and homeschooled, but you know, we've all been there. So but we're going to use red wine. Now, when you cook with red wine, heat, it cooks all the alcohol out, so you're not going to get drunk on it. It does smell really nice, and it just makes the food taste a lot better, but you're just going to get that rich flavour of the fruit and the wine to go through it. So just going to put that in now, William. There we go. If you don't want to use red wine at this point, that's okay. Just use the same amount of liquid as water, and again, it just makes all the ingredients bind together. So I'm just going to leave that for another minute. Then we're going to put our dried, we measured out earlier, our spices here. So I've got this in a little kitchen roll really, and I'll just fold this in up and put it all in at the same time. Again, William's going to coat all that ingredients now with that. So William, do you want to put these tomatoes in there for me? Just put them all in. Now these are going in cold, so it's going to slow your cooking temperature down at every dish. Make sure they all go in. There we go, a bit lower, that's it, so it doesn't splash everywhere. So is that all stirred around, William, now?
All stirred.
Okay, careful with it. Marvellous, okay?
Oh.
Right, all we're going to do now is put the lid on this. Now I've got this like saute pan here, but you can just use a normal saucepan to do this. There's no problem at all. Or you suppose you could use a frying pan and put a lid on it if you've got one. If not, put a plate on it. It's quite simple. So that's going to sit there now with the lid on.
Steaming.
And it's going to sit on there for probably 10-15 minutes. So about 7-8 minutes in now, so we're just going to give it a stir and see how we're getting on. Whew, it smells fantastic, so just to make sure that it's not too dry. So we're just going to give it a stir and give it another 5 or 6 minutes. I think that'll be done then. And then what we'll do there, we'll turn the temperature down, put it on a real slow simmer while we cook the chicken, and then we're all ready to go. Right, so I'm back again, so another 5 minutes, and I'm just going to make sure this is okay, because I think it should be ready now. So again, take the lid off, be careful because it's going to steam up. There we go. When it's ready, it's kind of quite thick, so just get in this because this is going to be hot. So hopefully, again, you can see there at home what this looks like. It's all really nice and thick. It's got juices flowing through it. It smells incredible. So what we're going to do now is take that off the heat. There we go. And just let that sit. The beauty of this dish is you can make it way in advance. You can freeze it, you can keep it in the fridge, you can have it today, cook it today and have it tomorrow. It actually gets better as the flavours develop in the pan as well. So have it any time. It's really nice cold as well, with a salad or in a wrap maybe, or basically with anything. It's really, really good. Right, so we took our chickpeas off, and that's just sitting there nicely. So we're going to cook the chicken now. I'm going to let William cook this chicken. He's just washed his hands again. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to measure out another tablespoon of oil, but I'll do that for William now. So that's going to go in the pan like that. And William is going to put the chicken straight in the pan. Just using your hands, look. There you go, I'll do the first one for you. Then we're going to put the chicken straight in the pan again, there a sizzle.
Face down?
Yeah, put it down, face down into the pan. That's it, right, then go and wash your hands down. Yeah, really important. Right, so, you don't need to do anything in the pan, leave it as it is, you don't need to touch the pan.
Alexa, set chicken time for 3 minutes.
Now if you want to check the chicken, you can get these pincers here and just literally lift the chicken up there just to see how it's cooking. What does that look like to you?
Yummy.
It's looking, so it's got some colour on it, hasn't it? There we go. Turn it over very carefully. That's it, don't be scared of it. Put it right under. Yeah, that's it. Right under there, there we go. And turn it over.
Wow, that looks so good.
There you go. That's it, turn it over. Okay, leave it there, there we go. So you can see the chicken there has changed colour lovely. So again, 3 minutes on this side for the chicken. We don't need to touch it, we don't need to do anything as we said we're going to do with it. I'll just leave it there for 3 minutes so it's cooked. Right, William, that timer's just gone off, so our chicken's now been on for 6 minutes. So do you want to check it, William, to make sure it's cooked to the side? So again, very carefully, underneath the whole chicken, that's it, turn it over. There we go, turn it over, that's it. Okay,
Very good.
there we go. So that's nicely coloured on that side, got all the flavours on it. What we're going to do now, William, we're going to leave this for about 4 minutes just to chill out. So we're going to turn the heat off. We're going to finely chop some parsley just to go on top of it. Again, you don't have to, but it's just an option. We've got some fresh parsley. We're just going to chop up slightly there. And this is going to go on top of the dish very, very shortly. So I'm just going to take that to one side there. So we've got the chicken breast here, look. And again, it's really important that it's cooked all the way through. So when you're cutting it at this point here, if you don't think it is, put it back in the pan, or put it in the oven, or in the grill, or whatever. It's just whatever you feel confident with here. So I'm going to cut this in slices. I can see that it's cooked all the way through, and it's very simple to tell. If it's white all the way through, then it's cooked. It's as simple as that. If the juices are running clear, then it's cooked. If you notice, we've not got any salt and pepper in at the moment, so this is just a salt grinder, but you can just put any sort of table salt in there, and it just literally needs a little bit of salt in there. It's to taste, so you can have it as salty or as not as you want. And then some black pepper. Again, we like black pepper in our house, don't we, William? That's it, hold it like I did. That's it. Pull the spoon towards you. There we go. That's it. I'll put it in the middle. There we go. Put some more in.
No.
Do you want a little bit more?
Go on then.
Yeah, okay. There we go. There we go, right. Do you want to put that down on there? And you pick the chicken up like I did, look, so you get that, you slide that under there. There we go, it's all cooked for you. You slide it under there, so you pick it up like that and just lay it on top of your meal while I get something to write it on. Perfect, well done. That's brilliant. And now just going to wipe that bowl up, because we've got to make it look proper, haven't we? Okay? There we go, and you can just sprinkle some of that on. There we go, well done, William.